Alright, these will be some support flashes on the new cache. Now, a little bit of a disclaimer here. These are strictly support flashes, so helping your teammates, whether you're rotating or pop flashes for teammates. Some of these can be used as self-pop flashes, but the goal of this video is simply teamwork orientated. I, strictly speaking, prefer to learn a lot of these flashes because I like helping my teammates. I don't have the best aim in the world, so self-pop flashes, solo, whatever play is not my strong suit. I'm a really good support player. And anyway, so this video will have a lot of rambling. In the description, I'm going to have a speed run, like I do with all of my grenade videos. Run through all these grenades really quick, no commentary, straight to the point. This will be a rambling video, show off the details of how to throw the flashes, what they accomplish, when to use them, things like that. For the purpose of this video, I'm using grenades, if I remember. More so, they pop the same as flashbangs, and they're not going to blind me a million times over. Okay, so let's jump right into it here. Rotating B, flash through heaven, crouch right when you kind of get to the corner, right before, crouch walk, aim up in the middle of heaven. Pops front default, really good for anyone playing default, kind of a god tier flash for supporting and rotating. It's decent for headshot, might blind your teammate, but anyone that's coming in attacking the site be completely dead by that flash. Heaven, if you want to flash B main, two ways with a right click. Run up when you get to the entrance there, looking at the top middle of that window. Second one from the right, like that. Or if you want to use more of a self-pop flash, kind of drop and peek, walk, same thing, but when you get to the edge of the balcony, walk like that. It's not a flash, I just instinctively looked away. Both of them pop like that. They won't get this corner, but good pop flash nevertheless. B main, come to the corner generator, look where this beam meets the slope right there. Similar flash, pops a little bit faster because it's not a right click. Won't get this angle, good for people that are rushing or trying to work a pick slowly, stuff like that. If terrorists smoke the cross, have a teammate play close checkers, bad cross smoke, close checkers like this, or behind the box. Come to the corner here, look at the middle of this cylinder. That is a really good flash. Anyone checkers will be completely blind, can't react to it, unless they're already peeking into it like this. But your teammate should be listening or going off of a timing, like that. This is a retake flash that I want to start implementing. Come to the corner here, look at these dots, and then look down to the right, where you see these little bricks. I aim right there. So you go down, you jump up right away. You can peek with this. Surprisingly good. It gets under heaven and right here. So that's one variation. A new one that I've been tinkering with. Line up so you can see this line. It's the same lineup as the Molotov for default in the bomb plant. Line up so you can see that, and then start running backwards and then release your flash, kind of at the same time. One I want to experiment with, but flash is default here. Depending on where your enemies are, it could be really useful. I'm going to tinker with that one a bit. Really good kind of concept flash, especially with teammates that are coming out of tree. They can peek with it. Obviously people that are under heaven would have to look away or get blind. Has some leeway here. Anyway, on to mid, self-pop flash, which works surprisingly good as a... it's a nade, I don't have to look away. As a supporting flash, careful of where your teammates are playing highway, if they're peeking versus if they're playing back, or if your teammates sandbags. It's a really good pop flash regardless. Towards mid, concept flash, I've done this a couple times. Teammates that are rushing mid early on, just kind of line up on the door there in the middle, do a running jump throw, like that, pops on the roof. Now the timing, the best terrorist spawn will peak here at 147. So you'd want to throw it earlier than that. so that way it would blind them before they got to here. Ideally, it stops them from rushing. Concept flash, again, you could use it maybe late round with a smoke up. You can push in. Another variation, this is the actual nade that I use to nade mid from white box, so you're not exposed. Do a walking throw looking at the middle of that window. Now if you do that with a flash, similar concept, throw it earlier than 147, because people that are trying to rush peak mid, they're not going to like hug the container here and do this. They're going to swing out a little bit wide. So that flash is surprisingly good to get people trying to peek mid. Obviously, late round, do it through a smoke, whatnot. Another thing, this is a Celt Pop flash. Line up between these two shadows, then crosshair touching the tip of the leaf. Don't move your mouse, walk and throw. Release when you look at the leaf like that. So you're just like a walking step. So, just like that. You can push mid, use it with a teammate, something of the sort. Another one, the actual nade for boost, like this. You can do that with a flash. Let's say if you get someone counter boosted, you can flash over so they can peek. Or if you have a teammate that wants to peek A main. Now keep in mind, depending on where the enemies are holding A main from, they may not get blind, but if they're dinking around outside of here, you could potentially get some really easy kills. Also get squeaky, so let's say if your teammate's like, oh, he's squeaky, last guy left, flash over, peek. Pretty dirty play. Alrighty, so rotating towards A. Really good flash. I had to invent this one based on a teammate of mine who loves playing fence. This is his favorite angle in all of existence. What I used to do was just kind of run up and flash front red like so. But for my fence-loving teammates, that is a bad flash. So, what I do now, line up with this little wood thing at the top of highway, middle of this tree, bottom of catwalk. That bounces on here, and that will not blind your teammate fence, even if he's in this corner here. Looks like it might. Nope, it will not blind him. Thanks to you, Oogly. I did make a flash just for you. Anyway, if you want to rotate A, maybe get sight, you can flash A main, run up to the toxic barrel, look at the middle of this particle board on the right side where the windows are. You could actually peek with that. It's a good rotator flash. Let's say they're executing A, and you're like, oh my god, I gotta get to A, my teammate's gonna die. Easy lineup, easy way to stall them A main. Now, there are ways to flash from forklift to A main. The common one that I use, line up with the edge of forklift here, and then I look between these dots at the top of this pipe here, like that. I just run forward, throw right before I hit the wall. I don't do any fancy strafes. Really good flash there. There is a way to get this lineup here where this one, you're exposed to squeaky. This one, depending on how you line this up, you won't be. I'll do a little edit here to get the lineup. This is future boogly here. Quick changes to this flash. So if you line up here, you aim between the two dots like normal. But if you look up here, there's a little dot right there. So either go dot dot bar or just aim at that little dot. Either or. Hold W, release right before you hit the wall. You don't want to be exposed to squeaky door, so you can line up on the middle of the column of forklift here. You could do the exact same lineup. Does the exact same flash. Okay, so other support flashes. Similar catwalk, you can do like the same thing, I think. Maybe aim lower. Yeah, I don't know, something like that, flash A main. Pop flashes for A main, early round, really good flash. Line up on the left side of this column on the box, very specific. Top middle, above the A. Similar thing, top middle above the A. Jump onto this ledge, hold S. You line up, you see there's a little kind of gap here between the leaf and the pole. Middle of the red. That's the exact same lineup. Different spot so you're not exposed. Back sight, line up under the last lamp, crouch, then top middle of the A. Notice the column there. Easy to kind of spot it and quick line up. From quad, you got a jump throw. Come to the corner. Top of my crosshair touches the bottom middle of that little thingy, like so. 64 tick. Again, all of these are just god A main pop flashes. Do them early round, late round, supporting, frickin' on an execute, I don't know. What else do we got here? Have a teammate open squeak door right after you throw your flash. From the toxic barrels here, just look at the lamp. It's not a perfect pop flash, but when the door opens, usually someone will be focused on that, and then the flash can surprise them. You can swing with it. So, just a squeaky push. Truck. Favorite spot to rotate from with all the nades and crap. If there's a smoke up, flash into the smoke from the truck here. Just truck, I think middle of the thingy. Yeah, that flashes into the smoke. No way you can see that coming. Be mindful of your teammates though. You might blind teammates highway. Flash over red. Walk throw. I look between the buildings, bottom of the whatever that thing is. Like that. Flashing over red. That's a better version, depending on how you want it to pop. If you want to flash towards default, line up between the thingy and the corner of the rooftop. Walk throw or run throw, depending on how you want that one to pop. Shallow is a really good pop flash for people coming up. The deep one, more so towards forklift, kind of depending on how you throw it. I don't have that one perfected yet. But either way you throw it, be mindful of how your teammate's going to peek. The shallow one, your teammate can peek with. The deep one, maybe they can peek the other side. Just a couple ideas. It will blind your teammate's sight, so however you want to coordinate that. Okay, so that should be all for CT side. Let's go on to T side. God tier mid flash. So as you run up, hug the blue box, throw when you get to the end of the blue box. Middle of the A, top of the board. So you run up like so. Based on the timing, throw right when your teammate gets to around there, and that'll pop right before they peek. So running, throwing flash, pops when you get right there. Perfect timing. God flash to get out of mid. Obviously the worst thing is someone sandbags, so flash over boost. Hug this, strafe out to the right. I just kind of look along this line, right side of the barrel. Jump throw, 64 tick. That's for those pesky people that play sandbags, wait for a flash, and then they peek. Won't blind your teammates. Also a really good close mid flash. Another variation, you can line up here, strafe to the left. Look to the left of the bracket here on the window. Use my crosshair. Flash out lower mid. That one's really good for people playing close. Decent for this angle here. Not deep enough for that. Vent, depending on how they peek or how they hold. Just another way to flash mid. Pop flash highway. Come to the corner under vent. Aim there. If you're mid main, obviously you're exposed here. But let's say teammates know how to use utility, and all of this is already taken care of. I don't know. Come here, take a step back and crouch. It's the same lineup. Pop flash highway. Towards squeaky, you have your self pop flash, which also works to help teammates coming out at main because they're peeking towards this. Flashing highway for fence. Back up here, look at the side of the box, throw when you can see the top of the little green tarp. That'll pop behind forklift there. Really good for someone fence, and not too bad for people coming from truck. But ideally, that smokes up, flash pops, and they're peeking fence. It's a support flash. Could also flash sight, something like this. Crouch walk, looking at the side of the door, bottom of the arrow. Something like that. Aim aim. What can we do? Line up on the middle of this cross. Left and right click. I have a special bind to make this 100% consistent. I line up my thumb, see where this green tarp meets the wall here, or the entrance. So right there to right there. Line up my thumb with the middle of it. Aim to the left until my thumb passes the wood plank there.
Throwing grenade.
Not a flash either way. It won't get a pixel angle at fence, but someone quad, someone playing default, someone playing by the box here, someone playing up here. It will not get towards forklift. Reason I made that special flash was because the old one I used to use, which was a run throw, something like that, you could hear the bounce if the game was quiet and it was kind of hard to throw consistent. Either way. Supporting flashes. You can hug the back wall, crouch, look around there. That's a flash for fence and sight. Will blind your teammates. Alternate versions. Do the fence molly, except with a flashbang. Or aim above that little white picket fence. Those flashes are surprisingly effective for people's sight, quad, and they won't blind your teammates as easily. Let's see, what else do we got here? New flash that I'll be implementing for like a squeaky pop when a main is smoked off. Have a teammate pop flash out squeaky, like I showed earlier. Come to the corner here. With a flashbang, I line up the little pin just below the faucet there. That's basically a smoke lineup for the regular flash to flash sight. So they open the door and they flash, and right as that flashes, then you have this one going at the same time. So ideally, gets those angles and gets most of these angles. Good for a save round. Gonna start experimenting with that as a gimmicky play. What else can we do on T side? You have the rushing flash, like so. You have the checkers molly, except you can do that with a flash. If you're holding for a push, these are kind of self-pop flashes, but they can also help teammates. Kind of line up around the things here. I wait. Basically, people like that nade. Rather than peek it and get hit by the nade, you can sit here, wait for their nades if they're pushing, bounce a flash off that wall. Specifically a self-pop flash, but anyway, just had to show that off. What can you do here? If you come here and crouch, line up top of your crosshair touching that little light or the gap in the panels there. Used to be an easier lineup, but anyway. That's a pop flash for into sight. That's actually a really good one, depending on the angle that they're holding. Not perfect for heaven, but really good. Okay, let's say your teammates are rushing, they're going in quick. How can you support them? You don't want to do this, because unless you're coordinated, you're going to blind your teammates as they run through, and yeah, bad idea. Okay, let's throw them through heaven, or sunroom then. So with this glass not broken, these lineups are the exact same. So you can just hug here, strafe out really quick, aim up to that little knot, that's how you throw a shitty smoke. Do it like that. Or with the glass broken. Both of those get this angle here. Anyone playing from this angle checkers, you know, the opper. Heaven, the first one works really well. The deeper one only works if they're peeking close. Obviously anyone over here. Towards headshot, it won't get that person. But anywhere on site, that's actually a really good flash. So anyway, that's with the glass broken or not broken. Same concept applies if you want to do the Molotov. Except, well, like this Molotov, but you want to do it with the flash. Okay, that doesn't make any sense. You jump up here, you line up how you would with the smoke,
Grenade out.
blast broken or not broken, same thing. Gets this angle, which is important. Also gets all the other angles, like I said. Now what I meant is, let's say you're rushing, you break the glass, you can jump up here, do the Molotov really quick, and then do your flash. So that's just an idea. If you only want to do the flash, it's faster to do it like this. Anyway, a lot of talking for super simple nades, but anyway, that should wrap up all of the T-side flashes. And yeah, that's all of Cash for the somewhat decent guide to supporting your teammates.